Hey, Kendall.
Hey Max,
How's it going?
it is going well.
All right. You you have brought forth something that you wish to talk about today.
Well, it's not that I have brought this forth. It's this man brought it upon himself by doing this documentary and then putting it on YouTube, or not YouTube, but Netflix and Hulu for me to watch.
Oh boy. Okay, so who is this and why is this?
It's Stan Romanek. We've covered him before. I'm pretty sure the peeping tom peekaboo thing in the window alien.
Yeah, I remember talking about it at least.
Yeah,
So,
that's an oldie but a
Yeah.
goodie on Yieldy
Right.
YouTube.
So what did he do this time?
Well, it's nothing he did this time. It's just he's got a documentary out now,
Uh-huh.
and so he's trying to like promote his cause and his case.
Okay.
And I'm saying promoting like for a specific reason, and you'll see why once we give you the information. If you haven't seen the documentary yet, the first part's really interesting,
And the
but
name
the
of
sec
the name of it's
Oh.
Extraordinary.
yeah, it's on
Extra-
Netflix and Hulu.
Netflix and Hulu. Extraordinary.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Uh,
before we get into this, super quick, sorry, Kendall, is
Yes.
that Kendall's seen this and I haven't. I have no idea what. So I'm gonna be like the blank slate that Kendall's.
Beyond the alien in the window video, Max has basically no knowledge of all this.
Yeah, I haven't seen the documentary. I don't know anything about the guy, so everything will be fresh to me, and you'll get that perspective through me. So, go ahead, Kendall.
Okay. So he claims to be like part of an alien abduction syndicate, like some sort of, like breeding project called Star Child. And he claims to have an alien artifact in him, and he's experienced telepathy, and he has even some children, some space children, that come and visit him or talk to him on the phone.
Oh.
But that all sounds like a lot to process.
That sounds a little extraordinary.
but okay, he has a ton of footage, right? A ton of UFO sightings on camera, a ton of encounters on camera, orbs. He's even got footage from a security camera outside of like this beam of light burning the side of his house.
Oh.
And then the next day, people showed up to replace the siding on the house,
Uh-huh.
and the people weren't hired by his landlord and all this stuff, and he says he couldn't track down the company of the people that replaced the siding
Okay.
and all this stuff. So it all starts to sound like really convincing, like, yeah, there is a lot of strange happenings going on.
Yeah.
So this all started back in 2000 when he first encountered a UFO. He started to discover weird, like, bug bite looking wounds all over his body, and they would glow under a black light.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And then he started to have conversations over like a ghost box, which essentially was like a
White
radio
noise.
you could set up, and it was like a noise generator. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He said that people were following him, like Men in Black kind of scenario. Aliens followed his car, visited his house. It's like a reoccurring thing with him, and he can almost like sense when they're coming, kind of thing.
Okay.
So anyway, in 2008 is when the what's called the Boo video came out, where the alien pops up in the window. Well, it's not popping, but it's like peeking in the window.
Right, and I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then that's all I know of this guy.
Right.
Like, yeah.
And that is also, again, bringing more attention to himself. Actually caused him, a lot of heat. So
Right.
basically, after that, he got put up to do a lie detector test via Coast to Coast. They had him on and they said, "Hey, do this lie detector test." He agreed to do the test, and when it was conducted later that year, he failed on the question, "Is the boo tape a hoax?"
Oh.
He said that he had medical conditions that prevented him from being able to take the lie detector test.
No.
So he already took the test, but after the fact, he's like, "Oh, I actually had a medical thing and that's why it didn't go through." Don't you think if you had a medical thing prior to that, you would have said something?
Yeah, he's trying to cover his lies up.
But anyway, so then in 2009, at a conference in Kansas,
Yeah.
he said that Coast to Coast host basically set him up to fail. He blamed it on Coast to Coast.
Did he blame it on George Norrie?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, George, what are you doing? I tried to add George on Skype a few years ago. He didn't take it.
You know,
Okay, anyway.
So who do you believe? Do you believe that George Norrie set this guy up to fail, or that this guy may not be telling the truth?
Well, one of my favorite George Norrie quotes is, "Pterodactyls, they're out there." So it's either that guy or Steve Romanek.
Who's saying that he has an illegitimate star baby?
Yeah. So it's funny. Okay, I mean, obviously he's shat on it. You know, he made an alien video with puppets and he lied about it.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
Wow. I mean, a lot of people give him a benefit of the doubt until I talk about the other evidence that discredits him.
Okay, what's the other evidence?
Okay, so and then so he goes and consults a video expert. He's never named, but he says that he consults a video expert that claims that the Boo video would cost $50,000 to fake.
Oh.
And a Denver paranormal claims investigation group said that they reproduced the video for $90 immediately after
Sure.
Romanek came up with the claim that, "Oh yeah, I have this video analysis guy who says that it's real," and then
Yeah.
these guys called him out on it.
This gives me echoes of Polish Knob guy.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he's I dare you to fake it, and then people fake it, and he starts flagging their shit. So interesting. Okay.
Okay, so next bump in the road, 2009. Romanek's, had been advocating that, "Oh, I have an alien implant in me." So finally somebody called him out on it. But when it came time for the medical test on the implant, Romanek said it had disappeared.
Oh, imagine that.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, yeah, it's not going well for him. And then I bet in the documentary they kind of make it seem like it's not his fault.
Yeah, in the documentary they make it seem like I said, they're trying to woo you over to build him a case and to tell the viewer his plight.
Yeah.
They're not presenting the facts objectively. They're telling it from his point of view because it's interesting, because it seems like, oh, there's really something here. Because that's exactly why they started with all the interesting stuff first, because you see all the videos and you're like, oh, those are all really weird and they look kind of good.
Mm-hmm.
And then he starts telling the stories and it's like, yeah, I could see there's connections there.
Yeah.
But then when you look at it arbitrarily, from not trying to disprove or prove him, just looking at the facts as they just lay on the table, it's like, wait a second, this actually isn't anything at all.
Sure.
So then we jump to 2014,
Okay.
where Romanek was arrested for child pornography.
Oh.
He says that.
Oh, geez, that's like plot twist.
So he says that his computer was hacked and somebody planted it there to get him in trouble because they didn't like that he was talking about his alien encounters.
Did the aliens put it there?
That's basically what he's saying. So part of that whole Star Child thing that I mentioned, that he says he's part of some sort of gene seed program.
Oh, yeah.
So
all these terms sound different in context of child porn.
Right? So he had been harassed by the Men in Black, and then people leaving threatening phone calls with robot voices.
Sure.
Saying, you move back to Denver, we know where you are.
I mean, just get rid of your landline.
Anyway, so he basically claims that harassment escalated, and that's why he turned himself in to the sheriff's office there, the county sheriff.
So he turned himself in.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of interesting. You know, I guess obviously he's trying to hide under the guise of aliens put child porn in my computer, and all these people are harassing me for it, these weird entities. But,
Well, I mean, this is the thing though. He turned himself in for charges of possession and distributing.
just okay.
So it's not just like somebody hid it on my computer. He was distributing it as well as storing it on his computer.
Oh my god. Okay, go on.
All right.
Oh man.
In 2016, he pleaded not guilty to both charges after refusing a plea deal from the DA's office. His wife Lisa said, "Anyone who follows Stan is already aware of the harassment, break-ins, hacking, another remote access of our computers for starters, and that we've experienced. We will be talking about ufology in the courtroom. We know that this is everything to do with our
God.
being outspoken about ET/UFO reality."
Oh god. He's
So-
getting his wife in on it.
Well, I mean that's the really sad part, and that's like you watch the documentary and you can tell that his wife is just like, she looks dead inside, but she is supporting her marriage because she's a good woman.
Man, you gotta be real good.
And like here's the kicker.
Yeah.
Here's the
okay.
kicker.
Yeah.
So at a UFO conference,
Uh-huh.
Stan meets this girl, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, this is Victoria. This is the girl I get abducted with." And then
Oh.
they basically start living together while he's married.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this dude?
So, the way that the documentary tells it is that they became great friends because they were bonding over, these
Dramatic
extraordinary
events. Yeah.
Yeah. But in reality, everybody can see he's just using this as an excuse to cheat on his wife, distribute child porn, and basically, get away with a bunch of stuff. Like, that's what I get from it. All right. And
I mean,
and
yeah, okay.
if you're still feeling like, okay, Kendall, you're not giving him a fair chance because both of you guys just started attacking him immediately, saying he was fake. In 2015, so a year after the porn charges, in a video interview, Romanek said he faked the strange movement of objects that occurred during a 2014 interview.
Okay.
So-
Okay. You know what? I could swear that when we were watching the Peeping Tom alien, the Boo alien, whatever that video was called, that there was a thing. I guess that would be the people that said that they could do it for $90 that we watched. I can't remember, but I remember watching a thing on one of those, and I swear it was Peeping Tom alien, where he's like, "Yeah, I made that."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to say that's.
I think that was that one. There's been a few others, but I'm pretty sure it was that one. That's
Yeah, well, because I remember that video had a comparison. It was like original and the one
Yeah.
I made. So I don't think that was,
Okay.
Yeah, I think that you're right. That was some paranormal group.
Okay. And it was pretty close. Like that was it. Oh, that's.
I mean, because it's just
yeah.
like a Muppet, dude.
Sure. I mean, it's very well done. It'd be great in a movie. If you put yourself in the context of a movie where these things are real, that'd be terrifying. But
Right.
in the context of watching a YouTube video and trying to decide if it's real or fake, and then you see a paranormal group make it for $100 or whatever it was, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this guy. Okay, I get this straight. So this guy does all this shit. He bullshits his reasoning for failing a lie detector test, correct?
Yeah.
Blames it on a medical condition. Says that George Norrie set it up with the odds against him. I don't know how that could happen. Did George Norrie tell the guy to mark the pages or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
George Norrie hand over some cash for the dude to mark him as false.
Pterodactyls, they're out there.
And then he says child porn is on his computer from aliens, but he turns himself in for both using it and selling it. And is he in jail? Like, what's going on? When you said this was
no.
recent.
Yeah, he got released on a $20,000 personal bond.
Okay.
His court case is until oh shoot, his court case is the end of this month,
Oh,
July 31st,
timely.
2017. So
When did
he'll be going there.
when did the documentary come out?
It just came out. Again, it's so convenient it's coming out right when the court case is happening to kind of build up plight for him, to
Well,
build up support for him, to help him.
when was he? When did he turn himself in? When did he get released on bond, on bail, whatever it is?
He turned himself in 2014.
2014.
And then he was released the same year on the bond. He went to court in 2016, refused to plea, and now he's going back to court this year.
When did the documentary come out?
It just came out this year. It literally came out no.
Like,
I guess it was filmed in 2013 and it just came out this year.
okay. Okay. Assuming that's the case, I mean, I'm sure there's documentation that says when the thing's filmed or not. There must have been a crew. There must be a
Well, it
distributor.
says here, right here, it says in 2017, the J3 Films produced documentary Extraordinary, the Stan Romanek story, 105 minutes, November 2nd, 2013, was made available through streaming on Netflix. The documentary featured a voice recording of a so-called female alien-human hybrid named Kama, okay, who
Whatever.
claims to be Romanek's child. The oldest is 7. She also stated that Romanek is the father of 2 other girls. Okay, that's weird.
Okay, so I don't know who the distributor is, or whatever. I guess the distributor. I don't know who cuts deals with Hulu and Netflix and DVDs or whatever.
Right.
I kind of sounds like he decide if he has any say of when this is put out. It kind of sounds like him having to pay $20,000 as part of something to do with putting the documentary out, so he could pay for all this. So he could pay for his child porn case, buy a nice lawyer, you know.
Yeah, not just that, but also have public support.
Yeah, yeah.
Because their defense, like, they're not kidding. His defense, he's going to go into the courtroom and talk about aliens and try to weasel his way out of this.
And best case scenario for him, not for us because he's a creep, but for him is that they find him crazy.
Yeah.
And they go that route with it.
It's going to be interesting. We might do a follow-up video and just talk about, like, if he pleads insanity, if he sticks with the ET case, if he admits it's all guilty to get or it's all a lie, if he pleads guilty and gets his easier sentence,
Yeah.
you know, like, is he going to crack under the pressure, man? Is he going to...
I mean, look, there's a few things that are going through his mind right now, depending on his actual viewpoints. So the variables are all this is real. The other variable is that it's a story concocted. Let's assume we live in the real world right now with real people, and so it's all fake and it's all concocted. In his mind, he might actually believe all this, right? Of course,
Right.
then he failed the lie detector test. So something tells me that he doesn't actually believe this, and he knows it's a scam, and he did fake, most of his shit. I still believe he faked the PP and alien video, and if you fake something, you don't believe it because you know it's not real, right?
Right, yeah.
So I don't know if he's gone this far. If he's turned himself in for it, he might see all the way through to the end of the case with this. I mean, he's kind of all in at this point. I feel like if he had cold feet, the cold feet would have shown up around turning yourself in for child porn. It's very interesting. This is the first courtroom drama we will have followed
Right.
on here. It's really stupid, by the way. This whole thing is so incredibly dumb. I can't believe it. I got to read up on this when we're done here because this is the first time I've heard of any of it. So it's the 31st. This hearing.
July 31st, yeah.
Oh man,
His jury trial is scheduled for July 31st, 2017.
I'm glad I don't have to wait too long.
I know, right?
I'm really glad I don't have to wait too long because if we had done this, say in like April or March, I would have been looking forward to it. Oh, what the drama, live coverage, Stan Romanek
Oh.
Exclusive special. Oh man, 31st. What day is the 31st? The 31st is it's 2 weeks from today exactly.
Awesome.
We should 24-hour stream.
Well, that's a bit much.
We should 24-hour stream the Steve Romanek case and all up to minute updates.
How do we even get that information, dude?
I don't know. It'll just be the Steve Romanek, event. I don't know. Where's he going to court? What state?
Colorado.
Okay. This is very interesting. This is because there's real victims in this being, children that are in the porns. That's no good. That's never good.
Right.
That's very, very uncool. Steve Romanek. That's not a cool guy thing to have on your computer.
Well, what makes it creepier is like the alleged alien children that visit him. Like, they show some of the pictures of the little girls, and then when you think about those pictures, and then you think about the child pornography charges, it's like, oh, that's not cool.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's like, that sounds like such a perfect cover, though. Oh, it's alien girls who are calling me. It's little alien girls who are calling me daddy and saying they want to see me.
So he has physical in-person contact with alien daughters?
Yes.
We all know what he's doing. He's a pervert. I mean, I guess I can't speak for everybody, but from what little I've heard here, filtered through Kendall, of course, it sounds like the guy's a pervert. Little girl pervert.
So he has contact with aliens. He has contact with
George Norrie.
Well, yeah, he has had contact with George Norrie.
Uh-huh.
He has contact with his daughters, with
the woman he gets abducted with.
Victoria, yeah.
Okay. And the sheriff.
And anybody in the county jail.
Oh, this is unfortunate for everybody involved. Man, this is fucked up. This is amazing. The drama of the century. This is what To Kill a Mockingbird should have been about.
Yeah. So I mean, he's been on Larry King Live. He's been on Coast to Coast.
Sure.
He's had quite a few people call him out, and he always has a convenient escape for each time that these big. And it's not just Joe Blow calling him out. These are Larry King Live and Coast to Coast.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Paying for lie detector tests and stuff.
It's pretty rare. Also, I'm a pretty common Coast to Coast listener. It's pretty uncommon to have George Norrie be skeptical.
Right.
And I suppose George Norrie was being skeptical if he was saying take a lie detector test, or maybe he was saying it like, oh, if you really want to prove yourself, you should take one. I'll set one up for you. I don't know how it was, but that's kind of rare for George Norrie to be that way. George Norrie is usually, he is the guy that said pterodactyls, they are out there. He just wants to believe things, and
right.
I don't know.
Well, he wants to believe. So why would he set somebody up to hurt the belief movement?
Yeah. Unless George knew he was a creep.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's no secret that Stan has been unable to corroborate any of his alien-related claims. He can't.
Yeah.
He can't do anything. And like I said, even in 2015, he admitted that some of the movements of objects that occurred during an interview in 2014 were faked.
Oh man, this is just so interesting to me.
Uh-huh.
Glad you brought this one up. I will be following this.
So they do have a website. It's when you click on the website, the first thing you see is welcome to Loveland, Colorado, and there's just police in a line.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Nice website, by the way. It's all black, and anything I read is burnt into my retinas.
When you click the more information, basically it says Loveland City Council fires the city manager responsible for rehiring corrupt Loveland police detective. I wonder if he is the detective responsible for finding the child porn on this guy's computer.
I don't know.
I mean, like, I feel like he's trying to build conspiracies that aren't there and to further the web of lies.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, you do have a point, too. There is that slight, just barely, it doesn't even really exist in my mind, but there is this chance that this is all real and this is all being covered up, and that's why all these events, happen the way they do. But to me, that is so unfathomable and so unrealistic.
To me, too. That's why I didn't even talk about that. Like,
There's so much evidence that points that this guy is just a creep.
Yeah.
And he's trying to fabricate his own little world.
Look. If there wasn't a paranormal group that recreated that video for $100, and if he passed the lie detector test, it would be a little different. And if he didn't have excuses every time, it'd be a little different,
And if he didn't have, what essentially is a mistress, if he didn't have admitted that he'd faked movements in a previous interview, if he didn't claim to have an implant and then it's the day of the checkup, it disappeared. I don't know what happened.
Right. Like if he went and had it taken out and it's like, oh, here's a piece of metal in my fingernail or whatever the hell. It's like, oh, that actually happened. It'd be a little different, but all these things are falling through the holes for him.
Right.
As far as I can tell. So this will be interesting. I mean, wow, his site's really disgusting with the anti-law enforcement shit.
Right. That's just trashy.
Yeah, it's very trashy. It kind of tells you where he's at with his agenda. Yeah, that's as many of you know, Stan Romanek is facing a class 4 felony charge and will appear for trial. Oh, this is old. Okay. Wow. Well, this is terribly interesting. We will update when we get more info.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. I don't have anything else to say about it. How about you, Kendall?
And just real quick, the weird marks on his body, they don't seem very surgical. They seem kind of like bug bites or like drug sores almost. And the whole they show up weird under black light, that's easy to do. There's so much stuff that can fluorescently glow. I mean, for Christ's sakes, there's scorpions that do it naturally, like bioluminescence, guys. Anyway,
you could sprinkle stuff on yourself.
And some of the medical stuff that he mentions sounds kind of weird, but none of it is substantiated. None of it he has Dr. So-and-so that you can look up. None of it can be proved. So if you watch the documentary, watch it with a grain of salt. I mean, it's entertaining and it's interesting. The first bit is because you get some really good creeps. He shows some video clips that I have never seen before. There's a couple aliens in the windows things. There's a couple UFOs I'd never seen from this guy before. And then at the end, you start hearing both his story and his wife's story, and it doesn't take a lot to start connecting the dots that this is actually just a big cover up for a creep.
I'm curious about his wife.
Dude, I'm not kidding. She looks dead on the inside.
I'm curious.
In the interviews, she looks so dead. I feel bad for her.
I wonder, because I'm just assuming this is all fake and he's a fraud and he's a creep. So I wonder why she would bother with this. Like, why not just cut off the gangrenous limb and go on,
Denial. Some people are old-fashioned and just stick with their marriage. She also basically moved from Minnesota to Colorado, so she doesn't have a lot out there.
Okay.
I mean, they've been together for quite a few years now, but
I mean, you look at all the shit stacked up against her. Even the mistress that is live-in, apparently from what you said. Does that woman live with them? Him? You said something like that.
It was like that's what they were suggesting what was going on, but they never fully mentioned that Victoria lives there, but Victoria would be there, and then they would go off to their own room. They would say stuff like that for hours at a time, or Victoria and Stan would be on the porch, like talking or whatever, for hours at a time every night. So
you look at all this shit stacked up against the wife, and just why, you know?
Right.
It's unless she believes it, unless he's fooled her, which could be.
She says she believes it. She says she won't lie for anybody, but she stands by everything Stan says.
Maybe he's convinced her. Maybe she's his best victim.
She even wrote a book called From My Side of the Bed in 2012.
Yeah, maybe she's his best victim. That's kind of unfortunate. Well, I have nothing more to say. So, Kendall?
No, I mean that's it. Just, I saw that this was kind of relevant and floating around, and I was like, oh hey, I wanted to talk about this because I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to start sending us. You're going to start watching this on YouTube or Netflix or Hulu, and a lot of you guys are probably going to start sending us info on this and going to be like, hey, have you heard of this? And the answer is yeah.
Oh man. Well, now I know about it.
Hi.
Okay. All right, guys. This has been the Steve Romanek discussion with Max and Kendall.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next time here on the Best 5 Minutes.